What's up, metalheads? I'm Jamie. This is the Blades and EDC channel. Thank you guys so much for being here. If you're new, please consider subscribing. And if you enjoy the video, hit that like button for me. All right, got some pretty cool news and a pretty cool knife here for you guys to check out. Full disclosure, this knife was sent to me by Olight or Oknife. This is a limited edition Splint. And I do now have an affiliate link with Oknife or Olight, which will be in the description, and a 10% discount code, which is BAE000. I'm going to try to get that changed to BEDC10, but if not, we'll stick with the BAE000. That will be in the description also. That will help support the channel, and I appreciate you guys. So I've already opened this knife. I've had this knife for about a week now, but I wanted to go and put it back in the box so you guys could see how it comes. So it comes in a very, very nice packaging. And if you want to pause and read it, or I'll just read it. Each Oknife is finely tuned by hand and expertly engineered for the best possible performance. Stay sharp with your new Oknife. The Oknife team. Comes with a packet here with some paperwork and a wipe. Also comes in a very nice pouch. And in that pouch they also include a coin, which is pretty cool. I haven't opened this yet. The reason I haven't opened this yet is because this knife is going to be given away to one of you guys. You're watching this video on August the 23rd. August the 24th is National Knife Day, and I will be doing a live stream. So make sure you're there tomorrow, because one of you are going to win this knife. And I'm going to start out by saying, when they contacted me and sent me a picture of this knife and asked if I would like to check it out, I initially thought to myself, yeah, I want to check it out. I have no affiliate links yet, really, and no one's ever, this is the first knife any manufacturer's ever sent me. I was like, I don't want to pass it up, so yeah, I'm going to check it out. But if it sucks, I'm going to tell you it sucks. And from, seeing it at first, I thought to myself, I'm probably not going to like this knife. But then I got it in hand, and oh my goodness, guys, this thing is a fidgeter's dream. You have a flipper tab, which works perfectly. You got the hole for the reverse flick, which works perfectly. And the thumb flick, although I gotta say the thumb flick is a little tight. I don't think it's primarily designed for the thumb. I think it's meant more for the reverse flick, which is perfect. And then you have the oh so important, oh so loved front flipper, which I gotta say, if anybody that makes knives happens to watch my video, when you make a front flipper, use this jimping. This is the kind of jimping you should use on every front flipper. It's so tacky and grippy. It makes it so easy to front flip this knife. I mean, it's excellent. It really is excellent. And I'm not saying that because this knife was sent to me for free. And just so everything seems kosher, I'm not going to sell this knife. I'm not going to keep this knife. I'm going to give this knife away to one of you guys on National Knife Day. So, yeah. And you're going to be pleasantly surprised. I guarantee it. A lot of times with knives, when they make them with multiple deployment options, with a flipper, front flipper, and a hole, you lose something somewhere, right? Like usually with front flippers, they have a lighter detent, right? So, in my experience, and then the flipper tab makes it not work well. You know what I mean? Because the detent's not tuned right. With this knife, you don't lose anything. One thing I do have to tell you, this is a light switch flipper only. If you push button like you just saw me do, the front flipper comes back and gets your finger, right? So you cannot push button this knife. But the light switch is perfect. It works so good. This blade just flies out. The detent is tuned perfectly for all deployment options. The only way I've been able to fell this knife was shortly after I got it, I tried to push button it, and you can't push button it. But that's not a flaw in the knife. It's not intended to be push button because of the way that flipper tab is. If you push button, it will hit you. But if you light switch it, the blade just flies out of there. This is one of those knives that's hard to fell. It's tuned so well. I'm gonna try to fell it on the flipper. I'm gonna pull as lightly as I can pull. Yeah. The detent is excellent. It is excellent. And the front flipping action is fantastic. If you are not good at front flipping, and or you don't know how to front flip and you want to get one to learn how to front flip, this would be an excellent candidate because of how good the jimping is. It's super grippy and tactile to your skin. It's not aggressive to where it hurts. It's not like overly sharp, but it's just, it's the perfect jimping for a front flipper. Yeah, good looking knife too. Honestly, I wasn't crazy about orange and black, but when you get it in hand and see it in hand in person, it actually looks really good. They did add a little bit of blue here on the pivot. If I had any gripe about the aesthetics, that would be it. I would say just keep that black to match everything else, but it doesn't look bad. It actually looks pretty good. This knife gives me Halloween carry vibes, or fall carry vibes for obvious reasons. The knife makes me think of Halloween with the orange and black. Just really good action, guys. It's on cage ceramic ball bearings. It has a ceramic detent, ceramic ball detent. The access to the lock bar is fantastic, as you can see, and they've jimped it right there, so it's very easy to get to it, and it's buttery smooth. Lockup is about 50%, 40 to 50%. Excuse me. Centering, dead centered. So, pocket clip is right hand tip up only. It is not reversible, but the pocket clip works perfectly. Got just enough tension to lock it in, but it's not hard at all to go in or out of your pants. It goes in and out of jeans and shorts very well. Yeah, I'm a big fan. I look forward to checking out more O-knives, or Olight O-knives. So, I'm a big fan of their flashlights also. This is the first knife Olight makes that I've ever had in hand, but I own several Olight flashlights, and I love them. I really love their flashlights, so. Sorry guys, sip my water. Let me give you the specs on the knife real quick. And I'm going to try to keep my damaged finger out of the video as much as possible, guys, but it can be hard to do so. Overall length is 6.93 inches. Blade length is 2.97 inches. So if you're in a under 3-inch state, you'll be okay. Plain edge, black wash finish on the blade. G10 handle, liner lock. Weight is 2.8 ounces. I don't see anything showing the thickness of the blade, but I checked it with my calipers, and it's right like 128, 129 thousandths. So pretty thin, flat ground blade. Do have a nice swedge up top here, and N690 blade steel, if I didn't say that already. Yeah, and I like the blade shape. The ergos for a smaller knife are actually really good. The way they've shaped the handle here, it feels really good in your hand, and you do have quite a bit of contouring on those scales. Hard to get contouring to show up on camera, but you do have quite a bit of contouring on those scales, which makes it very ergonomic. Back here in the normal grip, with my medium-sized hands, I get all 4 fingers on there easily. Still got a little room, but you also have this choil up here in the front, and you also have this jimping from the front flipper right here, which ramps up like that. When you're holding it right here, you got so much control of this blade. It feels really good in hand. It feels really good in hand here too. But right up here, you just feel like you got complete control of this blade. I should also point out, this knife came razor sharp. Has a super sharp edge on it. My biggest issue with this knife is the thumb flick. But I don't think it's intended to be thumb flicked. Especially with my hand being a medium size. If you're larger, you're going to have a hard time getting there. But the reverse flick, you got plenty of access to get in there, and it works extremely well. So does the flipper, and so does the front flipper. Excellent action on all 3 deployment options. You know, a lot of times with these knives that have multiple deployment options, you lose something somewhere. If it's tuned for the flipper, then it's hard to front flip it because the detent's usually too stiff. Or if it's tuned for the front flipper, it has a lighter detent, so you can easily fail the flipper. Not with this one. They've dialed this thing down. They've dialed it in for all deployment options. And it works very well. So, big fan of the action of this knife. Got milling in there on the liners, as you can see, for weight reduction. Keep this knife super lightweight. No lanyard hole, which I can appreciate, but I know some people like lanyards. I'm not a fan. To be as lightweight as it is, it's pretty drop shotty. I give it a couple shakes, but keep in mind, this thing's extremely lightweight, so. Let me give you some size comparisons real quick, give you an idea of the size of this knife. Let's do the Benchmade Bug Out. It's a bit shorter than a Bug Out. And then we'll do the Benchmade Mini Bug Out. It's kind of like right in between a Mini Bug Out and a Bug Out. Kind of dead center between those two. Although thicker than both, which in my opinion is a good thing. It really helps with the ergonomics, makes it extremely comfortable in hand. Let's do the QSP Penguin. And let's do the Kaiser Delorme. Couple decent size comparisons there. Almost identical in length to both of those knives. A little bit longer than the Delorme, but I think the Penguin is almost exact the same size. As far as thickness goes, the Penguin's going to be much closer in the thickness. But the Penguin has no contouring. It's flat, so yeah, they're almost identical in thickness. But the ergos are better on this than the Penguin. The Penguin doesn't have bad ergos, but it's just flat, right? It's just flat. It doesn't, this with the contouring they've done on these scales, makes it very good in hand. Feels very good in hand. All right, let's go give you a couple more size comparisons here. Since my PE2 isn't here yet, I'm gonna keep showing this knife until my PE2 shows up. The Vista variant PE1. It's a good size comparison, almost identical in length. Let's go ahead and do Spyderco Para 3. Another good length comparison there, almost identical in length. How about the Spyderco Yojimbo 2? It's going to be a bit shorter than the Yojimbo 2. And the Demco AD 20.5. So most people own one variation or another of one of these knives, which give you guys a good idea on the size. What else do I have that I can show here? How about the Hogue Deca? We'll do the Hogue Deca. It's a bit shorter than the Deca. And how about the Kaiser Gemini? Yeah, a little shorter than both of those. How about this one? The Benchmade Mini Crooked River. Little orange accents to go with it. Yeah, so it's a smaller knife, but this is one of those smaller knives that feels like a bigger knife. If you guys watch my channel, you know what I mean by that. Here's the wee Banter. A little bit longer than the Banter. What I mean by a small knife that feels like a big knife, I'll show you what I'm talking about. You know, when you're holding back here, you know, it doesn't feel like a very large knife, you know. But when you grip up to the choil, that's where it makes it feel like a larger knife in your hand, you know. I really like a forward finger choil. And the sharpening choil on this is done really well. You got plenty of room before you hit that plunge to sharpen this blade. So you're not going to get a smile on there for a very long time. Good looking knife too. I love the way they've done the G10 scales also. Almost has like a wood grain look to it. Yeah. The contouring, like you see right here and over here, that just helps with the ergo so much. Makes it extremely comfortable in hand. And this thing is a razor blade. Whoever wins this knife tomorrow during the live stream, you're going to be a very happy person. And I can't wait to hear what you think of this knife. This is a knife that like I said, I did not think I would like this knife. And it surprised me a lot. The action is really good. I don't know who OEMs Olight's knives. I don't know if they're making them themselves or if they're using an OEM. But whoever is doing it is doing a fantastic job, because this thing's a home run. It really is. The MSRP on these, I don't know the MSRP on this one, but the regular Splint is $69.95. I'm not sure what the price is going to be on this. If you click the Olight link in the description below, you should be able to see, you know, everything that's out there. And I think this knife is releasing the same day this video is dropping. The code will get you 10% off anything in the store other than on-sale items. So I don't know how that code works, if there's any kickbacks to the channel or not. I'm not really too concerned with that. Yeah, and I as much as I like this knife, I'm gonna give it away to one of you guys. I think that's the right thing to do. If a manufacturer sends me a knife for free to use to make content, I think it's a good idea to pay it forward and give it back to you guys who watch the videos. So one of you guys will win this knife. And check out Olight's website and use that code BAE000 to get 10% off. And yeah, I appreciate you guys watching. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button for me. If you're new here, consider subscribing. And I will see you guys on the next one.